the channels and groups of customers that we felt uncomfortable dealing with, where we've stuck them off in the corner and really have just looked at them as an afterthought and tapped them opportunistically, those days are done. And I find one of the reasons that we're in the same position today that we were 5 years ago is we haven't wanted to deal with that sense of discomfort. Club has taken on a new sense of urgency as we look at the growth of some of our larger conventional customers like Walmart slowing. We're not going to have another 5 or 10 years to figure out Club and get it right. We need to figure it out now. Further, if you start to think about your business plans, and I know many of you are getting ready for your 2012 planning process now, if your 2011, 2012 plan calls for your business to grow at a rate at or above the market, and Club is not a significant portion of that plan, or your company has failed to commit to it, you need to reassess that and ask yourself, are those plans and are those numbers realistic? Now, in terms of the growth and how Club has been positioned coming out of the recession, we see this as a business that is very relevant and well positioned to weather as we emerge from the recession. Not only have they kept the doors swinging and continued to grow their member base, but more significantly, they've captured a greater share of those members' trips. They're getting their members to come into the building more frequently and to shop different categories throughout the club. If we just look at one aspect and look at Club, we see this is a business that has continued to grow. And over the next 5 years, we're projecting Club to add almost as much volume as Walmart. $36 billion, about 10% of all the sales in the channel. A significant portion of the growth, when you back out fuel and all those other different categories, is going to come from edible groceries. In clubs, if you're not growing, you're dying and you're declining. So you need to take a proactive approach to managing that product life cycle so you're getting out in front of it and innovating and refreshing that category so that you're continuing to meet the hurdle rates. Now, those hurdle rates are high, and it's a high cost of entry to get into this class of trade, but the payout, I can promise you, is there. And at the end of the day, that agile supplier listens, they learn, and they translate those insights back into actions that they can bring to the buyers during those meetings. And an action in Club means an item. What can you bring them that's appropriate for their member that demonstrates all the work you've done behind the scenes? That's part of planned obsolescence. While Henry Ford invented the mass merchandising in the way, mass manufacturing in the way that we know it, let's create as many Model Ts as we possibly can, as efficiently and effectively for the lowest cost as we can. And by the way, we're going to do it. We're going to make them all black because it's easier. Those days are gone, and have gotten that mindset. While many of our organizations still have it, they've gotten us into a situation where we're actually throwing money out the window. Key thing to keep in mind: if you're selling Club, it's not enough to have a Club channel strategy. Each of these customers are very different. They adhere to some of the same tenets of the model, but they are in a very different place in their business life, and they're evolving rapidly. This is a channel that has a very bright future and a lot of growth opportunities, but it's not an easy path. That being said, the path is clear. It's up for you to take on that challenge. To go back to the words of Coach Lombardi, once a man has made this commitment, nothing will stop him short of success. So you're at the blocks, the path is clear, the water's rough, it's up to you to jump. We're here to help you, but that's up to you and it's up to your organization.